The Eternal Day. Part 14. The spiritual overrides the physical expression. What appears as natural occurrences in this experience has its original eternal expression. A simple matter of cataracts of our natural eyes. A simple procedure today to correct has meaning that if the mind of Christ in our awakened human spirit by the Holy Spirit isn't considered, it's just a simple natural matter. A few months ago, I had my eyes checked because my left eye was blurry, almost blind. They discovered cataracts in not only my left eye, but also in my right eyes. I was hoping that the Lord could heal both my eyes. Putting it off, I waited for the Lord's response. I got this response. If you can't walk on water, take the boat. Well, in light of my studies and my series, Rights of the Unfallen Adam, what I was told made sense, though I didn't like what I heard. So I shared my feelings and expressed to our Father, why couldn't you heal in ways that you've done in my past? Why the boat, or my turning to doctors that appeared to contradict what I was sharing in Rights of the Unfallen Adam? I could understand what he meant, and it's referring to the degrees of glory shared to us at any given moment and our operating at that level and not faking something we have not yet received. Without a doubt, I knew that the Lord was able to heal the very blind, let alone cataracts. Yet in my case, at that stage of my growth, this healing didn't come. I questioned why. Like I said, I've seen it in the past, but not in this case. We learned that the Lord has His ways, and we learn to walk in those ways moment by moment, getting past any pride on our own part, admitting to our weaknesses, and learn to wait on His strength. For me, at that moment, I had thought, I couldn't walk on water? So I took the boat that the Lord sent me in the form of an eye doctor. Some might think this is being unfaithful on my part and not trusting the Lord to the healing of my eyes, as I appear to be sharing in that series, Right of the Unfallen Adam. Yet I discovered there was something deeper in all of this than just the healing of my physical eyes. Our spiritual eyes are more important at those moments than just the physical opening of our natural eyes to get us to see deeper matters. What have I seen? Now that I have clear vision, not only in my physical eyes, but now in my spiritual eyes, increasing from one degree of glory to another degree. Physical eyes may fade in time, even after the Lord's healing, which many an individual after the Lord healed them eventually physically died. But once the spiritual eyes are open, they never fade again. Eternal matter always overrides the natural. So, what more have I seen? Now that my eyes are healed, removing the cataracts, getting past the physical and now seeing the spiritual reason behind the Lord allowing this to play out the way that it did. From what the doctors said, at their amazement, I now have 20/20 vision in both eyes. It usually doesn't happen this way, with an individual having cataract surgery gaining not only their nearsightedness, but also their farsightedness. I now can see things near and far, whereas before this surgery, I was farsighted, needing reading glasses for things close up, Over time, even this farsightedness began to fade in both eyes. The left eye a complete blur, not able to read close up or see at a distance. Yet now I can see both near and far. Don't let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. This came into this sequence of events. Other events, hard to explain, also came about, so I will attempt to run them by you as they came to me. Things beyond the statements of doctors and other individuals not able to see what was occurring in my life at this time. 2 years ago, another situation occurred with me puzzled as to why. I had a mild heart attack, needing a stent placed into one of my arteries of my heart. 2 years later, after they're monitoring my heart and the other arteries left and right of my neck to my brain, they were concerned and considered another stent to correct this. A specialist was called in who decided that this wouldn't be needed because the right artery of my neck was feeding the total brain, compensating what the left failed to supply. Amazing. Excited, I saw what the Lord meant when He said, "Don't let the left hand know what the right hand is doing." A total different view that I would not have seen if this had not happened. As strange as this might sound, it restored my confidence in all that the Lord had been sharing to me over the years, and I put into the series, Right to the Unfallen Adam. In this, I not only saw the Lord's sustainability, but also the wisdom of the right hand of God, countering the left, representing of evil, and the biblical use of the left hand symbol. He truly does sustain us, beyond what those of the left, fallen corner mind, cannot see. It's amazing. Our Father is always right in what He allows, beyond anything we could have ever imagined. So, can our Father heal us? Sure He can. Does He at times, in His not healing us, have deeper reasons beyond what reason could ever imagine? That's for sure. And what I just shared is only one example to prove this fact. I have gained in this experience deeper insights that I would have never seen had not occurred or played out the way that it did. So I've not only got the healing of my eyes and heart, but also the deeper spiritual insights that now this article can attest to. I am not done sharing all that I've seen, which would take a few more pages. What else have I seen? If the Lord sends you a boat, swallow your pride and take it. It may not be for the reason your pride thinks. It delivers you and takes you further up the stream of life to your final goal. See, those who represent this boat, the doctors, friends, and so forth, use the Lord for His purpose. Beyond what they might think, taking credit where credit may not be due. Apart from the Lord, they could do nothing. Paul had thought he had power, remember, to save Jesus when it was the Father's desire that day to not save him, so He could save you. I went through a very humbling situation with both of these situations, doubting the Father's purpose in both, questioning why. Feeling either I let Him down or He let me down. Having to admit to my weakness, when in truth, in the end, discovering His strength in both situations and His sustainability, even when it appears that He has forsaken me, only to see the power of His resurrection just a little deeper. So in closing, Let me share a few biblical texts in light of this. John chapter 4. In the course of their journey through Galilee, Jesus arrived at the town of Canaan, where he had turned the water into wine. While he was there, a man in the city of Capernaum, a government official whose son was very sick, heard that Jesus come from Judah and was traveling to Galilee. This man went over to Canaan, found Jesus, and begged him to come to Capernaum with him and heal his son, who was now at death's door. Jesus asked, "Won't any of you believe in me unless I do more and more miracles?" The official pleaded, "Sir, please come now before my child dies." Then Jesus told him, "Go home. Your son is healed." And the man believed Jesus and started home. While he was on the way, some of his servants met him with the news that all was well. His son had recovered. He asked them when the lad had begun to feel better, and he replied, "Yesterday, at around 1 o'clock, his fever suddenly disappeared." Then the father realized it was the same moment as Jesus had told him, "Your son is healed." And the officer and his entire household believed that Jesus was the Messiah. Let me read one more story and wrap this up. Luke chapter 17. And it came to pass, as he went to Jerusalem, that he passed through the midst of Samaria and Galilee. And as he entered into a certain village, there met him 10 men that were lepers, which stood afar off. And they lifted up their voice and said, "Jesus, Master, have mercy on us." And when he saw them, he said to them, "Go show yourself unto the priest." And it came to pass that as they went, they were cleansed. And one of them, when he saw that he was healed, turned back, and with a loud voice glorified God. And he fell down on his face at his feet. He gave him thanks, and it was a Samaritan. And Jesus answering said, "Were there not 10 cleansed? But where are the 9? There are not found that return to give glory to God, save this stranger," Samaritan. And he said unto him, "Arise, go thy way. Thy faith has made thee whole." What does this have to do with what I've just shared with you? Is that all we desire of him? A miracle? The healing of our eyes, of our body? Which is more important than the physical healing? Is the spiritual healing. And in these 10 lepers, 9 had no spiritual healing. They got a physical healing. Only one turned back and thanked God and got a spiritual healing as well as a physical healing, having come to know Jesus. Am I advocating that God won't heal you? No. Can he heal you? Yes. Does he heal you all the time? No. And there are reasons as to why. There's no shortcoming on his part, and many times not yours, but just for deeper insights. And at the end, think of the rich young ruler, who Jesus had said to him, who had asked Jesus, "What must I do to be saved, good master?" And Jesus says to him, "Why are you calling me good? There's none good but God." He was speaking as the Son of Man to another Son of Man, and was the Father speaking to him. That's why he would say, "There's none that's good," speaking of us, representing us. He says to this young rich ruler, "Sell everything you got and follow me." And he couldn't do it. He couldn't sell it all to follow Jesus, not knowing that had he followed him, he would have also gained more than he had before. In his case, riches. He could have gained the riches of the kingdom of God to the teachings of Jesus as he followed him. He would have gave him more. His disciples had said that after that story. We have left everything and followed you. And he said to them, because you have, not only will you have more in this life, but in the life to come. A lot more. What do we want? Riches from the Lord? Physical healing for the Lord? A miracle? Desire first the kingdom and the wisdom and knowledge of God, and all these other things would be added unto you. Believe him. God bless you all.